Um, I just wanted to kind of touch bases with you guys about the energy that's taking place on the planet right now. It's a very strange energy on the planet right now, and it appears that this energy is distracting us from major things that are happening on this planet right now. Okay? And have you guys felt the energy that in a minute. That's not what I want to talk about right now. Hold your horses. I wanted to find out from you guys, have you guys been feeling at least that there are things that are very... Something's trying to knock us off our square. And also they're harvesting the energy of those who are currently grieving over Kevin Samuels. They're harvesting that energy, by the way. They're harvesting the energy. Okay? You guys should know this game by now and how this goes. Alright? Anytime that one of us passes away, they take that energy because we have the highest amount of energy due to the carbon. Okay? They take that energy and they harvest that energy, and then they alchemize that energy to spread over the masses their agenda. So you guys have to remember how powerful that you are as a being before you start getting caught up in other people's agendas. Okay? And one of the things I always say is that the energy that you get back is the energy that you put out there. So whatever you're putting out there, that's what you're going to get back. And I said to you guys that there was going to be instant karma. Remember? Instant karma? Things have been very odd since that solar eclipse. It's been a very different kind of energy since that solar eclipse. To the point to where I'm operating on a very high vibrational frequency. For something, anything low vibrational to get to me, it takes a minute. Because I'm constantly doing things on a regular basis to raise the frequency. Constantly. We're reaching to get to higher dimensions constantly as far as my consciousness is concerned. So it takes a minute before I'll actually see something. Very, very rarely does it affect me. If it does affect me, then I do take notice of that. What I'll say to you is that there is a shift that's taking place. The sun has even moved more northwest than before. And I mean, literally, I have video evidence of the sun, where it was located at out in front of my house before, and then where it jumped to days later. And I said, what the heck? Like, why am I noticing that it's now setting behind these set of trees where I live at? There's a set of trees there, and the sun, when it was doing that before, it was out the window, out to the ocean, and then I see the sun. So I'm like, why the hell? So just so I can notate the differences. So the sun did shift. The planet itself shifted.
See,
and what I want to say to you guys is that I'm also getting visions of, I don't know if anybody else is seeing this, and this is for those who have the ability to work their first eye. For those that have the ability, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to tell me if you see what I see. I see a bunch of different beings, or a lot of different beings are coming down upon this planet right now. And these different beings are not happy. They're very pissed. And they are participating in tearing down the Matrix. And all I keep seeing is codes and codes of Matrix being pulled. Like codes like being shaved down. Like codes and codes and codes of Matrix constantly being pulled down. It's like the codes of the old systems are constantly being pulled down. Okay, that's the way I see it in my mind's eye. Just like codes and codes and codes and rows and scrolls codes that are just constantly being yanked down. So as this is happening, the reality is shifting. So for some of us, it may be a little alarming for some of us, where we're seeing a different kind of reality. I've heard some of you guys say to me, it looks cartoonish outside.
Ooh.
Okay, that's when you know that the actual stuff is being shifted and pulled down. This matrix is being torn down. Okay, I want to warn the bigger audience that I warned on my Telegram channel. You guys got to be careful with your phones right now, because the sun is going to get to a certain frequency where it does something to your phones, and you guys may already start experiencing this. Your tablets, your laptops, your computers, your phones going out. This ain't no Mercury record.
So the street was like,
what up, though?
What up, though? She dropping them gems, dude. How was your day?
I wanted to go to them witches, but we can do that shit tomorrow, I guess.
What you want to get from over there?
No, I ain't trying to do that right now. I'm like, fuck it.
but you know, so you know,
The one in Port Huron or the one out
The one
here?
here, but we can try the one in Port Huron.
And what's going to end up happening is it's going to end up blowing up in people's faces. You guys need to be careful where your phones are. Don't have your phones too close to your face. Don't have your phones in your pocket. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Turn your phone off when you go to bed at night, things of that nature. But you need to be very careful of your phones, and you also need to be mindful of the time. The time is what I want you to pay attention to. We're currently losing a day in time. Because I told you about the spell, about the frequency that's coming down the planet to break the time of to break the spell of time. Okay, we're currently losing 30 minutes a day. Okay, there was about 2 weeks ago where we lost 2 hours of time. Now it's 30 minutes a day. So if you've been noticing that your day has been going by extremely fast,
Yes.
or if you're noticing, like for me, what's happening to me is I'm jumping a day ahead. And I'm tripping because I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm literally thinking, and operating off a schedule a day ahead. And I literally have to come back and like, wait a minute. Let me come back for a minute. And people look at me like, it's such and such sunset. So I said, damn, I thought it was right here. I thought it was this day. So I'm going a day ahead. Some people are falling behind, but I'm actually jumping a day or two ahead. Okay? Thank you, August. Love, August. Been a day ahead all week. That's because here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to take a look at your time on your phone, your time on your laptop, your time on your computer, and other places where you keep time, such as your watch. I want you to take a look at that, and I want you to start monitoring that. And let me know. I don't care if you got to send me a DM, log on to my Telegram. The link is in the bio. You can hit me there because I'm more accessible on the Telegram. You can hit me there, send me a message there. But I want you guys to let me know, and even if you can take snapshots of it, if you're seeing your time change before your eyes, if you see your time going back a couple minutes or even a couple hours, or maybe going ahead, or all four of your devices is not syncing up. This is important because that is a sign to let you know that time is leaving us. There is going to come a point to where there won't be any more time. It won't exist anymore. Okay? Now, I'll for a moment because there's some stuff coming. People are activating right now. But let me give you a warning. As you guys continue to keep developing your abilities, such as your telekinesis and your ability to do other things and your strength and all that kind of stuff, let me just say this one thing. I got to say it like this because I saw something, and I'm like, what are you, Nick Rose, doing?
Why is the red tree the only vibrant
Just because your abilities come on does not give you the right to take advantage of other people in the process on some petty 3D shit. So let me go ahead and just give you this warning, so that way if you get your ass whipped or some shit happen to you, you got the warning ahead of time. Some of you guys' abilities and gifts are coming online, but some of you guys are still living inside your damn karma cycles and shit. You know, the ones that you didn't know about. Not this one in this current lifetime, I'm talking about the ones you didn't know nothing about, that brought your ass here in the first place, and you still living in that karma. There's certain lessons your ass ain't learned, so you keep bringing your ass back. You want to be careful about some of your gifts activating and certain abilities coming online, and then you thinking you can get over on people because you have these abilities. I'm I'm gonna need you to give you this warning ahead of time. There are already certain councils on this planet that's waiting just for people like you. Because as we continue to keep activating, and we continue for these things to happen, and we continue to elevate, and our consciousness continues to expand, things are going to naturally happen to you due to the fact of the sun and what it's doing, which is why they're working so hard to cover it up with chemtrails and everything else that they come up with. They don't want us being activated. But I'm going to give you a warning. I saw some of you guys' abilities coming online, and you were actually stealing from people. You were like taking shit from people, things like that. If this is you and you're listening to me and you're noticing certain things, get your shit together. Do not think that you're not being monitored because your gifts came online. As a matter of fact, the ones whose gifts are coming online, you're the ones that's being watched the hardest. So I just want to put that out there for you so that way you know. Watch your ass while you're out here doing shit. Okay? Watch your asses. Now, there are some portals that Gaia has opened up. There are dragons coming in on the planet right now. These dragons are very ancient. Some of them are Lunakai, meaning god dragons. The oldest of dragons, wisest of dragons, but they're coming through a particular portal right now. And they've been doing this now for the past couple years, which is the reason why we saw the leakage of the stuff that was going on over in China. Okay? But these dragons actually do have the ability to show themselves to you in physical form. Especially if you are vibrating high enough, you will see them. There's now video footage out of these dragons flying around in different places now, so people are actually seeing them. The reason why I'm having this conversation, there's going to be so much things that are going on. Ascending, and I want you to rejoice in that. Gaia is ascending. And there are certain portals that are being not only opened up on the planet, but there's also certain. So I want you guys to rejoice in that. Ivy. Tap into that wind. Yes.
Look at you with your camera on.
Speak love into the atmosphere. So you can start seeing and experiencing magical things in your life. Speak love out into the atmosphere. This is a magical time. A time for you to manifest anything that you seek out to manifest for yourself.
I'm trying.
Okay?
I was doing that
this is the
yesterday,
time.
too.
Don't get caught up in the negativity of things, because that's designed to bring your frequency down. So try not to pay too much attention to it. We all know we like to hear a good story, and we all know we like to know what happened, and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. We know how we are, but at the same time, know how to balance it out. Tap in a little bit, get some information, tap back out. Don't get caught up in it. Okay? Gaia is the goddess's name of Earth, but the name of Earth is called Planet Kai. Earth is only a name that was given by the people from planet Nern. These Caucasians. They called it Earth to remind them of Nern. Okay? The planet where they come from. I don't even call it Earth anymore, or her Earth. I just call her Planet Kai, or I'll say Gaia. Thank you, Felix Graham. Thank you, baby. You guys should know your own planet. This is where you come from, Planet Kai. This is where you live at, or at least for now. Now, I will share this information. A lot of us came actually from Sirius. Now, I know there's some people out there who say, oh, that didn't happen, and da-da. Well, I spoke to my Syrian council, and yeah, it did happen. So now, okay?
Dogon said it.
I did speak to my Syrian council, and I had a conversation with them about that, trying to get clarity about the story. And yes, we were actually the ones that were here first on Planet Kai. As far as some of the first ET beings, it was the Syrians. This is after the gods and the angelics and different beings came on board and actually created this actual realm. The Syrians were the first ones to come onto the planet. Okay? The Syrians, their gifts are sorcery, very powerful sorcerers, very much in tune with nature and earth, etc., etc. I am being told to let you guys know that you should never forget your family and where you come from, because the majority of us do come from Sirius X to be exact. Okay, a lot of us came from Sirius X. All right, And I want you guys to understand that the Syrian star system is very intricate. It's a very vast star system, but extremely intricate. Extremely intricate. Okay? We were always here. We were always here. It is Kai. I just said it was Kai. Doesn't matter how you spell it, fam. Kai is Kai. All the people that are currently living on the islands right now are just descendants of the people who lived on Turtle Island. That's all that is. A lot of people ran and were chased out of Turtle Island down into the islands. And remember what I told you guys, the majority of those people are Taino Indians. Remember what I told you guys, a lot of us were already here.
I remember what he
This
said.
is old news.
Yeah.
I think that there's some type of, agenda to say that anybody that has melanin in their skin basically all come from Africa, when in fact
Boom.
there are many dark-skinned people all around the world that are not from the continent of Africa, and I don't even know why they would even why would we be any different. I'm down here in Mexico. I call them Blaxicans. Blexicans. Okay. These Blexicans look just like us, y'all. They're Aborigines. They're native indigenous. They look just like us. The only difference is they're speaking fluent Spanish. They look just like us. And you can see a lot of their history in the pyramids down here. Okay? If you guys get a chance to go to Mexico City, y'all should go check that out. Go check out the pyramids in Mexico City. Go check out the pyramids down there by the peninsula. Down there by Tulum. Down there by, oh my goodness, I forgot the name of it. It'll come back to me in a minute. But there's another spot down there you guys should go check out. It'll come back to me. But you guys should travel through Mexico and check out the pyramids. They let you go in the pyramids. It's not like the U.S. where they want to hide shit and rename it and put it all backwards to keep our people confused. You know what I'm saying? So that way they think that we ain't tapping into the ancestry that's already here. To feet on the damn ground. Put your feet on the ground on that soil up there, and call forth those ancestors that passed away on them lands up there. Call them first way ancient ancestors down on them lands up there. You're gonna see that you don't need to do any of that type of shit. You're still connected. Energy's energy. So you can't climb far. But I want you guys to understand, Kevin Samuels wasn't the only. There's quite a few people that died that day. Quite a few podcasters died that day, both male and female, that aligned with his views. He was just more popular than the other ones. So just because you see one person that's known and you make a comment like, well, damn, they got low on the totem pole if they worried about him. No, dummy. That took place on the entire planet that day, and the sweep is continuing. Just because you don't know who these people are that are being destructive against the divine feminine don't mean that this shit ain't being handled. Don't get it twisted. Major transitions that are taking place right now, and Kai is going to clean up this planet. Because as I said before, you cannot go where she's going and you still got the same damn issues. If you're not operating out of your heart space, which is considered to be the divine feminine. This applies to both male and female. If you are not operating out of your heart space, if you are not operating out of love, it will be literally impossible for you to be able to elevate. Now, let me go ahead and make sure you guys are clear about this, because I don't want there to be any confusion.
I gotta wait till I hit this curve.
Some people are going to be able to survive this solar flash when it happens, only if they have the ability to accept the light that's coming into the body to transform themselves as Source would have them intended to be from the beginning.
Well, that's how it was last night, but instead of the top half,
if you are not able to make the
bottom
shift,
half.
meaning your shift in consciousness as it's coming in, if you're not able to adapt and adjust to that shift, it's a wrap. There are beings on this planet right now that are currently scanning people's hearts right now, even as we speak. If you are not operating on a certain particular frequency, you are leaving from here. Okay? Everything that does not line up to where Gaia is going has to leave from here. Okay? It has to leave. And last, Moses, the crazy part about it, and even when you leave Kai and you go into the higher dimensions, how it's going to work then is when you start getting onto the higher dimensions or the higher realms, there's going to be two of everything. So you're going to have the fourth dimension on the malevolent side, and the fourth dimension, a fourth dimension malevolent planet, and a fourth dimension benevolent planet, or a fifth dimension, etc., etc. So the higher up you go, it's the duality stays there. It's just that it's not on the same planet. There's two planets at that point. The higher up you go, okay, and that's from 4D and up.
Didn't the Marvel comics talk about that?
What does Eclipse of Scorpio means?
Where you had one
I don't
planet
even
had
answer the
bad
question.
Superman, everybody was bad. Batman, Wonder Woman, everybody was bad. And then on Earth, that's when they were good.
A lot of leaving of the old and in with the new. How about that? That's the nicest way I can say it.
Lex Luthor was good.
Exactly. That shit was crazy.
All right. So the last thing that I want to talk about is the situation with Rashad Jamal.
What happened to him?
And I'm going to speak to this.
That's why I'm listening.
I'm going to speak power to this because it needs to be understood. Something needs to be understood about this situation with him.
They talking about YP now.
You guys don't know who he really is. But the reason why they did to him the things they did to him is because he was reaching too many people. He was. That's really what this agenda is about. It ain't got nothing to do with the baby mama. It ain't got nothing to do with her. They're saying that's what it is because she did push the charges. And let me just say this one thing. I look dead into her, and I'm an avid supporter of women. Make sure you're clear. I'm an avid supporter of women. If I felt that that man did not do nothing to that woman, okay? But there is an agenda behind the scenes, and they're utilizing her to push this agenda to get to him and put him away. Do it. They're hiding like the cowards they are behind her to do it. And what I'll say to you is that I watched that video that his wife did. And that video really broke my heart, especially when she spoke about the part of how they were pointing the guns at her children. And how they pulled the guns on her.
He don't even have that energy though.
And just,
Exactly.
you know,
I'm like, I'm out the
imagine what it would be like to be in a situation like that at that very moment. When you're a protector, you're a he can't do anything. At any given time, you're thinking to yourself, I could lose my life at any. But somebody else did. Now, let me tell y'all. I am not an avid supporter of women that do shit like this. I'm not an avid supporter of that. I'm not a supporter of that at all. And I definitely do not condone any woman using her power against someone knowing that they have a disadvantage just because of who they are within the country. I do not like shit like that. I don't like unjust actions. Okay? So I'm going to remain neutral on that child's mom, on Rashad's baby's mom. I'm going to remain neutral on that situation. But I'm not supporting that behavior. Okay? And I do understand the agenda and why they're doing what they're doing. I knew as soon as Fox News had picked it up about some stuff that were associated with him with some whole other shit that ain't got nothing to do with Rashad.
Wow.
As soon as Fox 5 News put him on that platform, I knew right then and there what time it was. Just like that. You start popping up on them bigger platforms like that, that's their way of letting you know that we got our eye on you. You're on our radar now. That was a very, very obvious sign to me. That was their way of letting him know. Okay? But I'm going to say this one thing, and I'm only going to say it once. They better be extremely careful how they deal with him right now.
Yep.
I mean, extremely careful of how they deal with him right now. Because it will not end well for them.
I was about to say, your shit have crumbled down so goddamn
And
fast.
I mean, it won't end well for them. I mean, it's going to be loud, like not end well loud for them. I saw the vision. It ain't going to go well. Okay? At all. So, I just want to put that message out there that they need to be very careful of how they move, because that ain't going to go the way they think that's going to go. At all. And I'm going to tell you something else. I saw something else coming up on the horizon. And what I'll say to y'all is, I'm not even going to spoil it. I'm going to just let this play out exactly the way that it needs to play out. But what I will tell you is that destiny is at play here. Destiny's at play here. This is much bigger than any of y'all think that it is. It's bigger than him. It's way bigger than him. Bigger. Because there's too much information out there that's being revealed to the public now by a lot of us that are coming out there on our mission to put the information out there. There's a lot of information that's out there now. The key thing is those that have the ability to hear, because you got to be operating on a certain kind of frequency to even understand the shit that we were even talking about.
Pretty much.
No, haven't ran into anyone of the sort in the astral realms. So, I just want to come on board and I want to speak that. I want you guys to support that brother, because he's going to need support right now. There are a lot of darker forces at play here. A lot of witchcraft and sorcery at play here, which has been at play for quite some time. There are, let me just put it to you like this. It's the same shit that happened before with somebody that you know that was popular on the internet. It's the same play. Same play, different scenario, same agenda. Know how to read the energy. This is much bigger. You can't be as young as him as he is, young Pharaoh, Kalai, all these other cats out here. You can't be that young and be who you are as a black man in America, putting this type of information out there to unite our humanity. You can't be that. They're going to find a way to get at you one way or another, especially if you have a platform. You're going to be seen. And they're going to stalk. And they're going to pay attention to how many people that these individuals are influencing and what it's doing for the people. Pay attention. They've been showing you in the public for a while now. Y'all saw it.